What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp, and this is
Sparky.
Back again like you never left. And today on Basement Operator, we're going to be doing a review on a Kriss Vector SDP. So this is a 9mm, I don't want to call it a submachine gun because it's not
subcompact,
sub gun, right?
Yeah,
because it's not a machine gun because, you know,
it don't have that third switch.
It doesn't have the fun switch. But this is an iconic cult classic firearm that most people know because of pop culture video games. You know, obviously we are young and easily impressionable and played video games in our youth, so we wanted to get one tested out, see what all the hype was about. So before we do, I think there are some things we should kind of brush over as disclaimers, don't you, Sparky? Because those are really important for you guys to understand where we come from and, you know, kind of the background on where we get our stuff, because, you know,
Transparency.
So first things first is we do not have a relationship with Kriss. They did not send out this firearm. We actually bought it ourselves. We bought it from Colt over at 801 Weapon Works. One hell of a dude. Make sure to go check him out. You know, awesome guy. The only thing we did get for this build was this suppressor. This is an Otter Creek Labs 9mm can, and it is an awesome suppressor. We used it here on the little AKV video, and we've been testing it for a while. We'll probably have a video out on it. It's a lithium. Awesome little suppressor so far. So that's the only thing we've received for this build. Next things next is Basement Operator. Bam, bam,
Right here.
right there. Basement Operator is our apparel brand. Go check us out at basementoperator.com. There you can also find builds. So like if you want to see everything that we have on this Kriss Vector, you can head on over to the website, click the link, and then you can see like what light we're running, what suppressor we're running, what optic we're running, and you can build it out exactly how we have it, if you like how we have it set up. And it'll have all the little nuances, so you won't miss anything from the QD mount here to, you know, the suppressor or whatever it is. So go check us out at Basement Operator. And then last but not least, and not forgotten, TrueShot. TrueShot sent over some GGG M193 ammo for us to review here on the channel. The ammo has ran great and performed flawlessly. It's accurate and does everything you need a good training ammo to do. If you want to check out TrueShot and pick up some GGG ammo, head on over to our link, basementoperator.com/link, and there at the very top you'll see a big red link that says TrueShot. Make sure to click it. Big thank you to TrueShot for helping us out. All right, Sparky, so let's dive right into the Kriss Vector. And this is by far one of the most unique firearms we have here on the channel. And we've had it
for a while now.
We've had it for a long time. We actually got it way, way back in the winter when we released the winter merch. That had the Kriss Vectors on it. We thought we were going to be able to make the video a lot quicker, but we were waiting on a can, and the can just kept on and kept on and kept on, and that, you know, screw the ATF. So we finally got the suppressor. We were shooting it a lot then. Now we just have more time to shoot it, but it's finally come time to talk about this. And this has been one of the most iconic firearms, I think, in terms of recognizability.
Yeah,
it has
easily recognized. Yeah.
It has a very unique shape. And you know, and it's a very unique gun to say the very least.
Draws a ton of attention.
It draws a ton of attention. Its popularity really kicked off back when Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Man, we're getting old.
Yeah, we are getting old. That was, I think, almost 10 years ago, maybe more than that at this point. And that's where I guess the rise for the hype for the Kriss Vector came out, because it was one of the submachine guns that you could get in that game. And I think that one was chambered in 45. This one's chambered in 9mm. But that was really kicked off the Vector hype, and it's been in all kinds of gun games since. And you know, it is a very unique weapon. So I think we should do it some justice and talk a little bit about it. The Kriss Vector is this one is a 9mm short pistol. That's how it comes typically. You can get a longer one with a 16.5-inch barrel or something like that. We got the pistol version and we SBR'd it. The SBR process was super simple, and you know, we got it engraved. The Kriss Vector actually comes with a spot for the engraving, which is really nice. And we were able to throw a quick, you know, collapsible stock on it, which is an awesome thing for this little 9mm sub gun. Like we had mentioned, this is not an actual submachine gun. We do have the semi-automatic version, and here we'll go ahead and clear it for everybody. There's no magazine in it. But let's go over kind of the layout of the rifle and then we'll talk a little bit about how it performed, how we think it shoots, and is it worth for somebody to buy, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Smiling nods.
Wait for the acknowledgement on that one, Sparky.
Smiling nods.
All right, we'll start tip to butt here. We do have an Otter Creek Labs 9mm suppressor on it. It works great, ran great on the AKV, and then it's been running awesome on the Vector. The Vector came with a threaded barrel, ready to suppress up. It has a 6.5-inch 9mm 1-to-10 twist right-handed barrel on it. You know, the super small short barrel for, you know, aiding in the compactedness of this. If you wanted to, you could collapse it up, take the can off of it, and it can get pretty small. It could go in a bag. The only limiting factor.
Easy now, easy.
I'm just saying, if it needed to. All right. Anyway, the only limiting factor really is width on it. And we'll talk about that because that's one of the most asked about things when people find out I have a Vector. It
looks heavy.
It does look heavy, and it's like, what on earth is down there? This version of the Vector is the SDP, so it has this extended rail here, which is really nice. It complements with some M-LOK features, and it comes with 2 Picatinny pieces here on the front. So you can add additional Picatinny pieces if you want. I have a Streamlight ProTac running up here, and then at the very bottom I have a little QD mounted to the M-LOK.
And a little hand stop.
And a little hand stop, which comes from Vector as well. Yeah. Really nice, really cool little feature, and I like the extension.
Give you some options.
So if you got the other Vector version, it comes with a little bit shorter barrel, and it kind of just ends right here, and you don't get the little rail. I really like the little rail, and I think if you're going for this model of the Vector, that you should go for the one with the extended rail.
Yeah, because I think it's good to have the option. Like,
and it gives you a little bit more to grab onto and to, like, you know, shove it in on you with. Whereas, you know, if you have less rail, you don't have as much to grab.
You're going to have to hold more back here.
You're going to have to hold more back here, which I do not like holding back here on, you know,
I kind of go back and forth on it. Part of me likes having, like, gripping it right here. And then part of me likes to come up here with it. So I can kind of go either way with it. Mm-hmm. But
I still like the traditional C hold on it. It just feels better. The non-reciprocating charging handle, I don't have a problem sticking my hand there and working with it. So, I mean, I have no issue. Moving back from that, you have your controls for the PCC. You have the charging handle, which is nice. It collapses. It's non-reciprocating. It's a little bit tough to rack, if I'm going to be honest, but I mean, that comes with the territory. Just don't be a puss. You have your bolt catch right here, and then you have your magazine release. And the only complaint I really have about this...
You gotta really push that thing.
Well, not only that, but the placement of it. So if you're up here holding your grip, you have to come down and hit the mag release.
That's kind of why I like holding it down here, is that if I need to drop a mag, my hand's already there, but at the same time, you got your hand right there, you could accidentally hit it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of go either way with it.
Yeah, you could go either way with it. But that's my biggest complaint. If it was up to me, I think placement for a mag release should be down here, kind of where it is on an AR-15, but that just has to do with the placement of where the magazine is and the fire controls on it. So I understand why it had to be up there. It just kind of sucks that it is up there.
It's just a different platform.
Yeah, it's just a different platform. And that's one of the biggest things about this thing when getting it and shooting it and getting used to it was...
It's very different.
It is so different than anything else. Like, you know, even like an MP5 or this AKV, there are some similarities to modern firearms, you know,
or like the ones that we're used to.
The ones that we're used to. Whereas the Kriss Vector is just so different.
It's out there.
Yeah. But I mean, it's cool. Moving on. Let's talk a little bit about why this looks so blocky. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, I get a lot of questions about it. When anybody comes over and they see it, they're like, why? What is this? What is in there? And this is kind of the defining feature of the Kriss Vector. And one of its selling points is its Super V gas system in it. So this is a unique to the Vector. The gas flows down and pushes a spring that pushes down into the receiver, and it is unlike any other gas system in the world. It sends the motion of the recoil down, and that helps you acquire targets quicker and get follow-up shots a lot quicker.
Because it keeps your muzzle down.
Yeah.
Which your bore axis is lower on this anyway. So all that is going to keep the muzzle down.
And I mean, that's kind of the whole selling point and the whole thing Kriss was going for when they released this PCC, was to have that and for that to be the standout, as you can get way quicker follow-up shots, you can shoot way faster, and you can do what you need to do, and with less like active forceful control.
Yeah, and that feature, the benefits of that feature are going to be more pronounced in a full auto capability.
Yeah.
You would notice it. You'd be shooting it.
When you're shooting full auto, especially full auto AR-15s, those suckers like to just go, you know. And obviously we haven't shot the full auto Vector, but like Coleman said, when you start to amplify your shooting, that's when it really takes
squeezing
effect.
off a couple here and there. Like you're not
don't notice it.
You're not going to notice it. But if you start sending them faster than that or full auto, then that's when that feature shines.
And this is really different compared to like something like a traditional blowback like this AKV, or a blowback and roll feature like the MP5 here. So I mean, it's a really nice feature. I think that the actual recoil on it is less than something like a piece. I mean, it's a 9mm
It's 9mm,
PCC,
but
so there's not a lot, and it does weigh a lot, but there's hardly any recoil at all.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, I understand why they did it. I understand the thought process on it, and I think it's a really nice system to use. Now, that comes with additional, concerns. You have to learn a new system when you clean it. Obviously, that's why I don't clean my firearms. That's why I get Coleman to clean my firearms. So,
poor me.
Yeah, he gets to learn a new system. So, I mean, it's just an awesome, different type of thing. Let's move on back so we don't beat the dead horse. You have a 2-stage quick reset trigger. I will be completely honest. I do not like the trigger whatsoever in this. It's not really that great. Here, let's do a little demonstration. So, kind of creak. There's a lot of creak in it. Yeah, it's just not it.
Then once it resets, then you still got a bunch of walk back to it after it resets.
Yeah, the trigger's just not the best, if I'm being completely honest with you. But,
it's not my favorite, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, how much can you really expect out of PCC triggers? The AKV, ALG trigger. But this is also more of an AK trigger.
Totally different.
Yeah, more of an AK trigger anyway. So moving past the trigger, you have ambidextrous safety, which is really nice. And then you come to the very end of it where we have the Kriss Vector folding stock here. This was super easy to put on, super easy to install. Once we form one it, this literally just comes apart in the back. So, I mean, it's just like 2 or 3 screws, pops on out. It originally came with a QD point back there if you wanted to run a sling, but to put the swap on for the stock, dude, it was super simple.
And it is adjustable.
It is adjustable.
With QD points in the back as well.
Yeah.
Wham.
Oh yeah. Lightweight.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be because the rest of the thing's heavy. But I mean, overall, just an absolute unit of a PCC. Takes Glock mags, by the way. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah.
That's
a selling point.
That is a super selling point. So you don't have to buy $80 MP5 magazines, But I mean, if you're buying an MP5, then who cares about $80? You're already spending $3 grand on the MP5.
Yeah, it's it comes with territory.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about how we have this thing set up a little bit. We're in the Otter Creek Lab suppressor, a ProTac, which is Streamlight, one of our favorite lights. For $100, they're really hard to beat.
Yeah, you can't beat it for money.
Then moving down, we have a little QD point here, and then we're also running an EOTech EXPS 3 here. This is the EOTech that we bounce around on literally everything. Super awesome optic. EOTech runs great, and we've had no issues whatsoever with the optic. And then also when you buy the Vector, it comes with standard flip-ups, which are really nice. They're very similar to Magpul. Magpul actually probably makes them if I had to guess, but they're branded Kriss. I don't know that for certain, so don't quote me on that. But they are very reminiscent of Magpul-esque
Do remind
stuff.
me of Imbus.
Yeah. I don't know. That's hypothetical. We don't know. So overall, this little PCC can run you anywhere between $1,500 and $1,700, depending on where you get it. I know PSA has them a lot. PSA seems to be very consistent in keeping Vectors in stock. They keep the pistol version and the full rifle version. If you buy a full rifle version Vector, don't DM me a picture of it because they look retarded. I think that
It's not tactical.
the fake can, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
You've seen
I know
the
what
fake
you're talking
can that
about.
sticks out so far.
I wasn't even gonna bring it up. Man.
They look awful. I mean, I don't know why. I guess I know why
You
people
are
would.
hurting people's feelings. I can hear the
It is
keyboards
what-
typing.
Yeah, it is what I get it, I guess, but
You are
I don't know.
hurting
You need to
people's
look
feelings.
cool at the range. That's the most important thing. So this whole setup was quite pricey when you get down to it. I mean, you're looking at 600, 1500, so that's 21, 22. Say another 1,000 for the can after you get done with truss. $3,200 for a PCC. Of course, you know, after you think about it, that's kind of starting to hit on par with all the other PCCs we got after it's loaded out.
Yeah, but once you load that guy out.
Once we get this thing kitted out, it's going to be an absolute monster. We haven't done too much shooting with it, but I'm super pumped. Oh yeah, you just had to do it.
Oh yeah, man. I go into a gun store and ask, can I hold that MP5 for a second?
So make sure, like, if the person this is for is definitely not for your economical PCC buyer.
This is you want a real Gucci bump in the night gun or truck.
Oh yeah, and you want something to take to the range to make sure everybody knows you're about it. You know.
And to make the range officer like, wait a minute.
What is that? Yeah. So I mean, it's an awesome piece to have. It's definitely a usable, reliable PCC. Is it the most economical? By no means whatsoever, but it is an awesome.
You're gonna get style points.
Oh, you're gonna get some serious style points. It's reliable, it's very functional, but it is
Not the most practical.
not the most practical for your everyday shooter. Now, that's being said, if this thing was full auto, you're ramping that thing full auto, maybe the benefits are there with the recoil system, being able to control it really well. I just have to be able to get my hands on it on a real full auto version to really see. And this is also the Gen 2. There's a Gen 3 out that was debuted at SHOT Show.
That was slick.
Yeah, it was nice.
That thing was really slick.
So I mean, I can't wait till that gets on the market. Maybe we'll pick one up. But the Gen 2 is an awesome gun. I just don't know if I'd recommend it to your everyday buyer.
So with money not being a factor, if the MP5 was kitted out how you wanted it to, which of the three would you grab?
Money not a factor at all.
Money's not a factor.
I would probably say the MP5, just because of, you know, I mean, it's still being used today. They're still making a lot of aftermarket parts for it. Everything, you're able to find pretty much everything for an MP5. The full auto drop-on kits are still able to be bought relatively, well, I mean, you know, not inexpensively, but you can still find full auto kits for MP5s. You're going to cost you about $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, but you can still find them. I would say probably MP5 if money was not an issue.
Yeah, money not an option.
If money was not an option. Now, if we're still thinking about money, and you've got the AKV versus the Vector, they're more closely priced. I think that would be a harder toss-up. I think that the Vector is definitely awesome. I think it's unique, and I almost would say I would pick the Vector over the AKV just for that, because they're so close in price.
Sure.
Now, the AKV is a more familiar platform, but I think I could learn this and get familiar with this enough that I think I would pick the AKV over the Vector. And then obviously a 9mm AR-15 I would take every single time, just because
I think this one has the Gucci style points that go along with it. I think the platform is more practical. I think you got more options up here with your rail. Obviously, you got more than this. But once you put the can on this guy, it's gonna be bigger.
Yeah. So right here, they're sitting about the same.
They're about the same size, but as soon as you put the suppressor back on that guy, you're gonna add 2 or 3 inches.
But the thing is this one has a little bit more width.
Yeah, it's got some width to it.
Whereas this one, if you wanted to fold this thing up, it could be
and this one's lighter.
Yeah, a tiny package.
Yeah. So.
And we love tiny packages here on Basement Operator.
Ain't that right, Hunter?
Hunter, I don't know what you're talking about.
I like the width.
Yeah, calling the plate.
The plate. No.
All right. So, I mean, I think that about does it. I think that the Vector is an awesome little piece, and I think that, you know, if you're looking for a PCC and you have about $1,500 to spend, it's definitely a doable option. I would definitely recommend, you know, SBR in it. The ability to run a stock on it's just OP.
Changes it.
Yeah, and it looks nasty. FDE.
Such a sweet looking gun.
Oh yeah. For sure. Well, we appreciate everybody for watching. Big thank you to True Shot Gun Club for supporting the channel. Make sure to follow me and Sparky on the old Instagram.
Please.
And go check out Basement Operator for all the cool builds that we have on the channel and the merch over there. So we'll see you guys on
the stickers.
The stickers, the only can stickers still up. You need to get it. Oh, yeah.
I need a couple of them.
Oh, yeah. You definitely. All right. So we'll see you guys on the next one. As always, take some outdoors. Peace.